ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC7 News at Noon.
First, we have an update on Monday night's car accident in Carmel. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office has now identified victims. Good afternoon, I'm AJ Douglas. Also, a callous man pleaded guilty to distributing child sexual abuse material in U.S. District Court in Bangor yesterday. And the Blue Hill Fair opens this afternoon. Coming up, we'll tell you about some of the highlights. That, along with the rest of our stories. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, happy Thursday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks, across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. Alrighty, so we had a few showers developing last night early this morning. We're still keeping an eye on that, though, as there's a little cold front just off to our north and west. It's going to be tracking to the south and east, and that will give us opportunities for a few showers again later this afternoon. Just a small chance, so especially across our southern counties and maybe our northern counties too. So it's going to be very hit and miss as it does develop. The main front is well off towards sea. This is a secondary front and not a lot of moisture to work with it, but we'll have just enough where we might get a shower going later on. So by later this afternoon, we'll have the chance for a few pop-up showers possible. Then by later on tonight, things will begin to calm down in a big hurry. But the winds, so we'll have to keep an eye on. Maybe a few gusty winds reaching up to about 20 miles per hour, sustained winds up to 5 to 15 miles per hour, and that will be a northwest wind. So your forecast for today, middle 70s, a partly cloudy sky, a slight chance for a rain shower, a southwest wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 40s, getting cool out there under a mostly clear sky, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, though, middle 70s under a mostly sunny sky, that west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. In your hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, temperatures in the 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office has identified the two victims of a fatal crash in Carmel Monday. The crash happened a little after 9 p.m. on Route 69. Authorities say 23-year-old Stephen Shelley of Herman was driving a car that crossed the line, before leaving the roadway and striking some trees. Shelley and his passenger, 17-year-old Caden Brown of Newburgh, were pronounced dead at the scene. Penobscot County's Sheriff's Office officials say the initial investigation indicates the car was traveling at a high speed prior to the crash. Detectives are continuing to investigate. A callous man pleaded guilty in U.S. District Court in Bangor yesterday to distributing child sexual abuse material, according to court records. On September 10, 2021, 27-year-old Samuel Staples of Calais began a chat with the administrator on a social media networking dedicated to sharing sexual abuse materials and sent the administrator a sexually explicit image of a young girl. A search warrant was executed at Staples' residence, and during the search, Staples admitted to sending the image. Records indicate multiple images and videos of child pornography were found on his cell phone. Staples faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine and up to a lifetime of supervised release. Homeland Security investigators, the Maine State Police Computer Crimes Unit, and the Calais Police Department investigated the case. An update now on a forest fire that has been burning for over a day in the township of Tomhangan. In the last update via their Facebook social media page, around 5:30 last night, Maine Forest Ranger and Incident Commander Thomas Libra reported that the fire was 90% contained at 9.9 acres. He expected full containment by sunset and says the fire will not get any bigger. There have been no firefighter injuries. The Blue Hill Fair opens today at 4 p.m. with general admissions for opening day being just $1. Each mechanical ride will cost an additional $1 per person per ride. With rides, plenty of food, dog shows, horse pulls, wood carvings, exhibits, and get this, free parking. The opening day is likely to be a hit. All of these events and plenty more will be open to guests through Labor Day. Coming up on ABC7 at noon, groups are reacting after the Maine Supreme Judicial Court ruled in favor of the CMP corridor. We'll take a look when we return.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Mainly Pizza is not just pizza. They have grocery items, baked goods, breakfast sandwiches, and subs. They also have freshly baked desserts and ice cream, all in a family atmosphere. A visit to Mainly Pizza is worth the drive.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
What's better than a sale? The Label Shopper Summer Warehouse Sale. Direct from our warehouse, prices $3, $4, $5 and up. Where else can you get designer brands as low as $3, $4, $5 and up? Label Shopper, great clothes, great prices.
Whether you're hurt by a box truck or by any commercial vehicle, you may have a big case worth big money. If you've been hurt by any commercial truck, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial truck? Come out on top. Call the Twos.
Brooks Tire and Auto Sales in Dexter offers quality used vehicles covered under a 30-day, 1,000-mile, 100% guarantee. We're proud of the quality of the used vehicles we sell and dedicated to serving our customers. We have a full-service auto repair shop and nobody can beat our prices on tires. Call us for a quote. Buy 4 tires from us and get a free rotation. Be sure to visit our virtual showroom of inventory available on our website. Whether it's your first purchase with us or one of many, you can count on us to make it the best buying experience possible. Brooks Tire and Auto Sales, Route 7, Dexter.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. With new cars arriving daily, now's the time to get in and get away. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $239 a month or get up to $500 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end September 6th. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Come to the Maine Wiener Fest September 11th at the Steamboat Landing Park on the Belfast waterfront. There's something for everyone, including a canine costume contest, a grand parade, a Duxie Derby, and more. Join these local businesses for the celebration. Goose River Farm on Belmont Avenue in Belfast. GRF Real Estate Company on Belmont Avenue in Belfast. And Riptide Smoke Shop, voted Waldo County's Business of the Year 2017 and 2019 through 2022.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Groups are reacting to the Maine Supreme Judicial Court's ruling in favor of the CMP corridor. The court ruled the referendum vote blocking the project was unconstitutional. The construction of the corridor is still not guaranteed, but this ruling does move the progress forward. It is still possible for the process of the construction to be hosted by the lower courts. The Natural Resources Council of Maine was unavailable for an interview, but did put out a statement saying, quote, "This decision is difficult to interpret, but what is clear is that there will be further review of these issues by the lower courts. It is unclear when that review will take place or how long it will take." Similarly, no one at Central Maine Power was available for interview, but gave a statement that said this unanimous decision by the law court is a victory for clean energy expansion, transmission development, and decarbonization efforts in Maine, New England, and across the country. After issuing thousands of dollars in fines, the town of Greene is suing a local taxpayer due to an illegal junkyard and flea market. The homeowner has thousands of items on his property, including cars and appliances on his front lawn. Owen Kingsley spoke to the town officials and visited the house to try to learn more.
There are 23 active ordinance violations here in the town of Greene, none of them quite like the home of George Stanley.
I can't go around town and enforce this junkyard ordinance on everybody else and not at least make an effort to bring that property into compliance.
Since 2007, George Stanley has been cited 3 times for violating the town's junkyard and flea market ordinances. And now for the second time, the town is taking him to court. Armstrong says they have tried multiple times to talk with Stanley, including visiting his home.
If George Stanley walked in here today, I would be more than happy to work with him.
There are at least 3 unregistered and uninspected cars on the property, among other items crowding his front lawn.
Things in trees, things on the fence, things here is like When's it going to end?
We spoke with one neighbor who said the community is sick of having this at the entrance of town.
It's a mess. I always used to say, like, you see the welcome to green sign, and then that's what you see in the background of it. It's not very impressive.
We called Stanley multiple times, and he has not returned our calls. A judge ruled he owed the town more than $12,000 in fines when they went to court in 2015. Stanley was able to avoid the legal fees, though, because the town filed the suit against him and not his LLC, Utopian Underdogs.
We don't want Georgia's money. We don't want Georgia's property. We want the property in compliance.
If the court sides with the town of Greene, Stanley could be faced with a $100 fine a day for each of the junkyard and flea market violations.
With Thursday's business news, here's Leo Jonathan.
The S&P dropped 0.8% Wednesday. The Dow shed 0.9%. The Nasdaq closed down 0.6%. August losses for all three were well over 4%. Investors expect another interest rate hike from the Fed soon. Bed Bath & Beyond will close 150 of its stores and cut its workforce by 20% in a bid to save $250 million. The chain will put more focus on national brands and get rid of a third of its own store brands. The Wall Street Journal reports Disney is considering a new membership program along the lines of Amazon Prime, which would offer discounts and other perks on everything from streaming services to merchandise. And Walmart has taken a stake in a Nebraska processing plant to help ensure a consistent supply of meat to its stores. 2 years ago, Walmart opened a similar facility in Georgia. I'm Leo Jonathan with Thursday's Business on ABC 7.
Farmers are warning that tomato-based products could be in short supply soon thanks to drought conditions. California tomato growers are facing another bad harvest year. Some tomato-based products like ketchup, pasta sauce, pizza sauces, and salsa could be in short supply. Roughly all farmers in California are dealing with severe drought conditions, while about 40% of the state is under what's being called extreme drought. One farmer says he's facing a 15% loss of his crop. U.S. agriculture data says nearly 10.8 million tons of processing tomatoes were harvested last year. That's down to about 2015 peak of 14.3 million tons. The 2022 season is the last for the Victory Chimes, says owner Captain Sam Sakima. He says the three-masted schooner is up for sale. The last of its kind, the Chesapeake Ram schooner was built in 1900 and is on the National Register of Historic Places. Losses from the 2020 season, maintenance costs, and availability of materials, as well as upcoming Coast Guard compliances, were cited as factors for the sale. The 131-foot vessel was built in Delaware as the cargo carrier Edwin and Maud, but was later fitted for passenger cabins. The Victory Chimes is listed for sale for $650,000. Coming up, there's a new poll out that has some surprising results on pot smoking. We'll take a look when we return. We'll be right back.
If you've been injured and think you can't afford a lawyer, think again. There's absolutely no fee unless we win money for you.
I called the twos when I was hit by a speeding driver. Lowry and Associates started working for me for no money up front. I never paid a penny out of pocket, and they settled my case for over $165,000.
I'm Jim with Lowry and Associates. Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222. Every breath you take.
Sting in concert, September 11th, Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine. Sting, My Songs. Performing songs written throughout his prolific career. With special guest Joe Sumner. On sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com or ticketmaster.com. Sting in one unforgettable night, part of the Varney Insurance Concert Series.
This Week on Wheel.
I grew up in the 80s watching the show. I was determined to solve those puzzles so that I could dream about what I'd buy on the Shoppers Bazaar.
Unfortunately, we retired all the dining room tables.
Plus, this week, one of these players makes a bonus round solve.
You got it.
That turns into quite the payday. And Scott struck it big on Wheel. Now he's using his winnings.
I said to my wife, let's give it away.
To change the lives of others. Hear the entire story This Week on Wheel.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
This Week on Jeopardy! Relive some of the greatest games of the season.
Well, this is very interesting.
With 4 of Super Champ Mateo Roach's historic wins.
You look like you can't believe it. I can't believe it.
And an amazing win from 16-game champ Ryan Long with a little help from a lucky charm.
Perhaps it was the beaded necklace handmade for our champion by his 8-year-old son.
The road to the Tournament of Champions. This Week on Jeopardy!
All this week at 7:30, only on ABC 7.
Governor Janet Mills announced a $1.9 million initiative for expanding the treatment of substance abuse disorder. The funding will allow hospitals and healthcare providers in rural areas of the state to purchase the necessary resources. This announcement is the latest move in Maine's Department of Health and Human Services in its effort to improve the state's behavioral health system, involving the upgrading of equipment, improving staff training, and other measures. The pandemic's impact on schools is not over yet. Some school districts across the U.S. are offering permanent virtual classes for students. New York, Texas, and California are the first to embrace remote learning as a full-time option. Officials say online schools are less expensive to operate and have fewer infrastructural needs compared to traditional schools. Texas's virtual school is even complete with guidance counselors. School officials hope this option can give both parents and students peace of mind as school restarts during another pandemic year. If you're traveling internationally with your dog, there are some very important things you should know, or you may end up facing a big travel headache and hefty bills. With more, here's ABC's Justin Finch.
If you travel outside the U.S. with your dog, you may need your dog's rabies vaccine certification to return back to the U.S. The CDC says dogs entering the U.S. from a high-risk country will have to be at least 6 months old, look healthy, have a valid rabies vaccination certificate, or a valid CDC dog import certificate. Your dog will also have to enter the U.S. through one of the 18 airports with a CDC quarantine station. If your dog doesn't meet that criteria, you'll have to make a reservation at a CDC-approved animal care facility at airports in Miami, Atlanta, L.A., or New York JFK. Dogs that have been to a high-risk rabies country and don't have a vaccination certificate, a dog import permit, or a reservation with an animal care facility may be denied entry, and you may have to pay for them to be sent back. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch.
All right, smoking weed is now reportedly more popular than smoking tobacco. According to Gallup, 16% of Americans said they smoke marijuana. That's more than 11% who said they had smoked a cigarette in the previous week. This polling set new records. The percentage of those who said they smoked marijuana was the highest since Gallup began asking the question in 2013. Those who said they smoked a tobacco cigarette in the past week amounted to the lowest record percentage since Gallup began keeping track of smoking in 1944. The Gulf of Maine Research Institute says the ocean here is warming faster than other parts of the world. It could affect every aspect of our lives. Megan Wilgos shows us the actions being taken.
Researchers here at the Gulf of Maine Research Institute says climate change is an existential threat to coastal communities, but it doesn't have to be.
People talk about sea level rise and drought.
Senator Angus King says there's two challenges to global climate change. How do we slow it down and potentially stop it? And how do we live with it? The two projects at the Institute over the past year have focused on presenting models to coastal communities and businesses in Maine for cost-effective mitigation and infrastructure. Researchers say the community has been receptive so far as they learn how to create, scale, and invest in this new era of what they hope are climate-smart working waterfronts. Researchers say the community has been receptive so far as they learn how to create, scale, and invest in this new era of what they hope are climate-smart working waterfronts.
I used to think that Darwin, when he said survival of the fittest, meant the biggest and the strongest and the longest teeth. But then I went back and actually read that section. He was talking about those most adaptable to change.
King also brought up the next potential project of offshore wind farms, but he says before anything can happen, there has to be research done around if it may impact lobstermen and fishermen in Maine.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
If you've been injured and think you can't afford a lawyer, think again.
I never paid Lowry and Associates a penny out of my pocket. They came to the hospital, got my medical bills paid, got me $350,000.
We win for you.
Ace Roofing, proudly serving the central Maine area. Book now before snowy weather. Call 207-949-6694 for superior quality, service, and workmanship. Ace Roofing. ABC 7, Fox 22, and Comfort Shoes and more want to send you to see Jason Aldean live in concert on his Rock and Roll Cowboy Tour with special guests Tracy Lawrence and John Morgan, Saturday, September 10th at the Maine Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Comfort Shoes and More in Newport, located across from the Irving, where they have the styles you want: running, walking, casual, and dress. Win tickets to see Jason Aldean September 10th on the Bangor waterfront. ABC 7, Fox 22, and Next Home Experience want to send you to see Jason Aldean live in concert on his Rock and Roll Cowboy Tour with special guests Tracy Lawrence and John Morgan, Saturday, September 10th at the Maine Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Next Home Experience. Luke is always singing his favorite souled song, Get Looped and Get Sold today with Next Home Experience. Win tickets to see Jason Aldean September 10th on the Bangor waterfront.
The front of your nice, neat house has these two lovely trees. Mr. Gutierrez, trees are your business, correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am. This landscaper cut a deal.
Tell me what you told him.
I told him I needed my crepe myrtles trimmed. Now he's out on a limb.
You cut down the two trees.
His last words to me was, cut it down.
Clearly, there was a miscommunication.
Simple words, cut it down. I said, okay. Next, Judge Judy.
Thursday at 5, only on ABC 7.
Do you know what the Italian word frittata translates to in English? It's fried. Now, even though I don't fluently speak Italian or really any other language, I do pretty well when it comes to speaking food-related words in almost any language. To help make sure you never forget it, we're whipping up a classic potato frittata that's molto bene, which means really good in Italian. We start by sautéing some refrigerated or frozen shredded potatoes in a bit of olive oil with some chopped onions and a little salt and pepper. You'll want to stir these occasionally so they brown evenly. Once they're golden, we pour some beaten eggs over them. Cover the pan and let them cook until the eggs are set. If you want, you can even flip this halfway through to make sure both sides are nice and crispy. Then slide it out of the pan onto a large platter or cutting board, cut it into wedges, and you're good to go. Maybe serve it alongside bowls of sour cream, snipped herbs, and shredded cheese so that everybody can top it with their favorites. To get the recipe for our classic potato frittata, all you need to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a tasty Italian way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Wednesday afternoon, literacy volunteers celebrated two of their own working a combined 75 years. Matthew Jurasic has the story.
Very few can say that they have volunteered for more than 3 decades. But for Kara Shriver and Nancy Connor, this is something the two fell in love with from the start.
Someone I was talking with had to help somebody read a bus schedule because the person could not read and they were having a job interview. Then we started having refugees come to this country from Vietnam. And there was only one English language tutor at the time. And she said, Kara, we need help. Can you?
The two have worked at Literacy Volunteers for a total of 75 years, 45 years for Schreiber and 30 for Connors. During all the years Connor has worked, she says watching her students grow outside the classroom is what makes her job worthwhile.
The idea that you are coming alongside someone, you are supporting them not only with a very challenging language, English is a very complex language and an ever-evolving language, but you're also helping them to navigate the culture.
Connor and Schreiber have both taught immigrants the English language, as well as training other volunteers how to do so. Connor says that becoming a tutor requires not only work inside the classroom, but also within the community.
You almost take on an advocacy role for them as well. You're helping them wade through some really important things, and you build this wonderful relationship with them. You share their joys and their challenges.
With all the time the two have put in, they say nothing compares to having students finally understand what they are learning.
You can work and work and work with the student, and then they finally they make the sound correctly. And it is so exciting. You can't describe that feeling, that high.
Anyone interested in tutoring should call 207-947-8451, visit Literacy Volunteers website, or come to the Brewer Community Center on September 15th between 6 and 8 p.m., where they'll be hosting tutoring sessions. Reporting from Bangor, Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Right now, let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, happy Thursday afternoon. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, so we're watching the radar and satellite. We've had a few clouds developing recently, and even a few showers. Pop-up showers are possible today. I think most of us should stay dry overall. This is a secondary cold front that is moving through after the first one has already passed through as well. But later on tonight, things will begin to calm down and will cool off in a hurry as well. We're keeping our eye on the tropics, though. This is Invest 91L. It's moving toward the west-northwest very slowly at about 7 miles per hour. It still has winds up to 35 miles per hour. It's trying to develop, so it's being investigated as a result of that, though. The spaghetti plot model is trying to move this to the north and west, but within the last few guidance models, though, it has it moving to the north and east eventually as well. So we might be okay. This may not cause us any issues along the shoreline, but we'll make sure to keep you posted as that does develop. Back here at home, middle 70s is our average high. Will be in the middle 70s today and tomorrow. Lower 80s for you Saturday, middle 70s for you Sunday. Back in the lower 70s Monday and Tuesday, then upper 70s again for your Wednesday. Dew points, though, they're falling finally. After they were really humid yesterday, they're in a more comfortable category. But by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, more dew point issues as we'll be back in the lower to middle 60s again. Futurecast moving forward, though. Again, a few pop-up showers possible this afternoon. Maybe a rumble of thunder if you're very lucky. A lot of this will get out of here. Maybe some heavy downpours with some of those showers as well. But becoming mostly clear and cool later on tonight, especially as we head towards tomorrow. Things looking very nice with plenty of sunshine around here as well. So by Friday, looking to be a nice finish to the week. Middle 70s today, partly cloudy, with a slight chance for a rain shower, maybe a rumble of thunder if you're lucky, maybe some heavy downpours as well. Southwest wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 40s under a mostly clear sky and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, middle 70s under a mostly sunny sky, a lot calmer with that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast, partly cloudy on Saturday, highs in the low 80s. A chance for storms on Sunday, highs in the mid 70s. And lower 70s on Labor Day, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for rain showers.
That's all for ABC7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm AJ Douglas. We'll see you here this evening with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC7 News at 6. I can't sign off without saying happy birthday to my mother, Angela Douglas. Have a good afternoon.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.